Hello everybody. Welcome back to Speed Addicts Garage. Today, we are working on the Nissan. I've been waiting for a very important component because I changed my mind on how I wanted to do things. But today is the day that we get to start on the hot side of the turbo on the 240 V8 powered car. So let's go over all the items that we're gonna be using to fabricate this hot side. Check out the assortment of parts. All right, one of the most crucial and main pieces that I just talked about on the last episode at Speed Addicts Garage is this Monkey Fab merge collector. The turbo that we're using is a T4 divided, and on our primary pipes, so our pipes is coming from each exhaust manifold, is gonna be 2.5. So we got our 2.5 inch J-bend. We got a 2.5 inch stainless steel bellow. I got multiple 2.5 V-band clamps. All right, then we go over to the downpipe portion. This is the portion that's gonna hook up back to the exhaust. This is basically a 3-inch J-bend. A J-bend is, you got this loop, then you got a 45, and then you got a little bit of a straight hanging off up there. With that 3-inch stainless, I got a couple of 3-inch V-bands for that as well. For the wastegate screamer pipe portion, I bought a 2-inch V-band. Don't know if I need it, but I got one. I may actually need a 2-inch, another 2-inch bellow. So same thing as this, but 2-inch, to put a little flex on the screamer pipe portion on that, because we do want to plumb back the screamer pipe on the wastegate back into the exhaust. And then speaking of exhaust, since we're using an 80mm turbo from VSracing, the outlet or the downpipe exit on that turbo is, guess what, guys? 4 inches. So because of that, I got a extra 4-inch V-band. I got my 4-inch 45 that I can make fit, because this is going to end up going out the fender on the passenger side. And then I'm gonna try to do this setup just like I did my old setup, meaning that I want it quiet on the street and I want it loud when it's time. So I got me a 4-inch loud valve. So basically the way this works is when you hit boost, boost hits this diaphragm, it opens up this actuator right here, and with that happening, as you can tell, the valve opens all the way up, and it acts as if it's an open down pipe. The benefit of the loud valve again is it's boost actuated. I'm cruising down the street, and the exhaust is going out the muffler. It's going out the exhaust, so it's quiet, it's tame. When I punch it, this opens up, it comes out the fender, and they make a bunch of cool noises like blah, blah. All right, guys, and also for my manifold of choice, because I know this is going to be very important for the guys running the LS turbocharged V8 in an S chassis. What I'm using here is a driver's side C6 Corvette exhaust manifold. It's a known fact that usually you take whatever manifold you're gonna use, you switch them from driver's side to passenger side. The flange is a 2-bolt flange on the bottom that's been cut off, grounded down, and has been rotated and bolted up on the passenger side. On this side, it's just basically a truck manifold, something you can get off of any LS truck. It's a passenger side exhaust manifold, and I've rotated it and put it on the driver's side of the 240. And then here's the exit. As you can tell, it's real close to the frame rail. That's why I made that cut right there. A lot of people put V-bands right there, but I don't want to put a V-band right there. I'm gonna put it a little bit lower down in the crossover section. All right, the first process of making this turbo hot side is you need to have as much stuff bolted up as possible, so that and then we need to figure out where we want to mount this turbo at. So I know that I had to put my new water pump on, and then I got to put my new tensioner on, so I can know where everything is. I put the harmonic balancer on, not all the way, but I got it on enough. And the objective is I'm trying to come out this side, come down, go underneath the harmonic balancer, and then I want it to come up, and when I get the turbo lower where I want it, you'll see where that connects up. All right, real quick, I want to take a break and point something out. What I'm using here is a universal LS style water pump thermostat housing elbow. This particular one, you can rotate it. So you loosen up the two 10mm bolts and basically you can rotate it. So I got to take this off and install it on the new water pump. But at the same time, I think I want to try out this cooler thermostat. I bought it a while back, ended up going back to factory. But with me having these heavy duty Doral 4000 CFM radiator fans, I'm just curious if those fans will make any bigger difference as far as keeping the temperatures down with this added too. So stick around. We'll see once I get the car back together, driving and everything, we will see if this is a benefit for the cooling system. But let me go ahead and take my punch. I'm gonna dimple this probably in between those two areas so I can know exactly where to put this back at. Bolt it on there, and then we'll install this water pump back on the 240. You see that right there? It's a little slot. Make sure you put that little slot right there in that spot. Make sure you get a real good seal on that thing. Make sure this is at the top. And I'm not sure quite why. Maybe because it's an off-brand, but that water pump, I couldn't get it to bolt up. This is the old water pump. What I end up having to do is I end up having to Dremel or grind down all of this area on this back cap. If you can tell right here where the bolt bolts up is flat and it's got a raised section. So I knocked a little bit down all the way around and I was able to bolt the water pump. So that's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure it's because it's off-brand. Yep, that's the brand there. And yeah. All right, so now we need to lower this down, get that into position, reinstall our Monkey Fab merge collector. Wow, I think I finally got where I want this turbo to sit. So I got a few things that I'm trying to keep in mind. One of the things is that this turbo generates a bunch of heat, so stuff like the spark plug wire, I gotta make sure I got enough room in between the turbine housing and it. I gotta make sure that if I wanna put oil in this thing, it won't be too terrible to do. I want this thing to sit back as far as possible, but at the same time, I don't want it to sit back so far that me trying to bring these two around the frame rail and back under to the passenger side exhaust manifold, stuff like that, I don't want to be a pain in the butt. Also, I gotta take in consideration, where do I want this to go? Talking to Kyle, he talked me into it. I think I'm gonna put this at the absolute best place that you can mount a wastegate, which is right here on this turbine housing. Kinda what I'm thinking is something like this. The wastegate would be up under the hood. It kind of looks a little bit symmetrical. And in order to come out that turbine housing to this wastegate, all I need is a 2" 90. And then also the exit will probably shoot right out the fender, somewhere like this. Then also for the intercooler pipe, probably do like a tight 45 and then shoot straight down through this hole. And then I want the down pipe to come out over this side and come out this fender. And then right on the end of this 45 would probably be where the loud valve would go. So as you can already tell, or if you can't tell, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, when you do stuff like this, man, you have to take your time. You have to really get 3 steps ahead so that when you finish welding everything, it won't be too late to try to fix something. Because you know, once you cut, once you weld it, it's a whole lot harder to go back if you could just take the time, draw everything out, and line everything up before you start. This ain't some of my best work, but once again, I'm a visual person. I went ahead and kind of drew out my little diagram of what I'm trying to achieve. This is the driver's side. I'm trying to come down, put the V-band where I can get to it, make like a little 45, put my bellow there. I got my crank pulley here. It's gonna come up, do another V-band. So the deal with this is that if I ever want to take out the exhaust manifold, I can separate the V-band, take it out. Or if I want to ever take this out, I can disconnect those two V-bands and drop it down from the bottom. And then what I would like to do is have the passenger side, which is the C6 manifold, where it bolts up or welds up to this T4 flange merge collector that is made by Monkey Fab. I'm trying to have this section right here in one piece, meaning that if I can help it, I would like to be able to take the turbo and this manifold off at the same time. And then for the downpipe section, we already got the V-band that we welded on. We got the straight 45. I got my loud valve there, and then it's gonna come out to maybe like a slip fit, probably another V-band, so that I can take off this end section, and then this is gonna come out the fender. And then over here, I got a merge from 4-inch to 3, and then this section here is gonna go back to the exhaust. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. What? Oh, you thought I was gonna do some welding, some tacking, some purging, some pie cutting and fabrication? No, not in this video. We just trying to get everything mocked up. But if you subscribe, you will see the next video, which is coming out next. And yes, in that video, we are doing some fabrication, some pie cut, some tacking, and yes, you're gonna see what you came to see. So in the meantime, hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you like this stuff. Definitely do that if you laughed at least once in this episode. But I promise you on the next episode, there will be some fabrication involved. So in the meantime, you know, kiss your kids, take them out for ice cream, and I'll see you on the next episode.